Good afternoon, students. I hope you're enjoying your break and keeping to the various precautions. Today we have social studies. And I remain your teacher, Pastor Nwakanma Anthony. In our last class, we looked at the topic social environment. And we said social environment has to do with the relationships established by groups, such as their religion, their music, their arts, and so many other things they do within the society. And we said it also includes what a group of people do, like the way they eat, like the way they socialize, the way they dance. And the social environment also includes the various social groups. And in the social groups, we looked at the primary social group, which constitutes of the family, the kingship, the age grades, and what have you. We also looked at the characteristics of the primary social group. Today we want to quickly round up on the social group as we look at the secondary social group. The secondary social group. And when we talk about the secondary social group, of course, this is the group where you have relationships that are more formal in nature. Unlike the primary social group where there is blood relationship, there is familiarization, there is intimacy, and people relate with each other on personal grounds. But in the social group, you have a situation where the relationship is basically formal. People relate based on their assigned roles. And we also know that in the secondary group, that the group is usually larger in number than the primary group. Although it is not always like that, but sometimes you just find out that the group is larger. Now, what are some of the examples of the secondary social group? Of course, you have educational institutions, like educational institutions, the secondary school, the university, and other institutions. You have also organizations like the political parties, maybe the road safety, and various other organizations. And sometimes what you notice about this group is that roles are identified. Everybody knows what their roles are, and everybody performs their assigned roles given to them. So with this, we have been able to look at the primary social group, and we have been able to look at the secondary social group, and we can now compare their similarities and their difference. I'm sure you can recap what we said about the primary social group, that they are more connected with blood lineage or blood relationship. You can easily trace relationship in the primary group. And we say that in the primary group there is always very close affinity. People relate by names and by relations. And we say in the primary social group too that the relationship is longer. It could be lifetime, because the moment you are a part of a family, you remain part of that family. But in the secondary group, it is not always like that. You might just be part of the group for some time, and as soon as your responsibility is over, you cease from being a member of that group. So with this, we have been able to conclude on social environment and social group. But today we want to look at basically the role of social group. The role of what? Social group. And primarily we want to look at the family, as a social group. What are the peculiarities of a family? First of all, what is a family? And of course, we know that a family is what? A social group. A family is a social group made up of a father, mother, and of course, children. That is a family. Family is made up of a group, social group, that consists of father, mother, and what? Children. Now, we can see that there are various types of families. Now, majorly in the types of family, you have the nuclear family. The nuclear family, and then the extended family. Now, what do we mean by the nuclear family? The nuclear family is just made up of the father, the mother, and of course the children. But in the extended family, you have more people to that family, where you have the father, the mother, children. Then you can equally have the grandparents, uncles, aunts, nephew, nieces, and what have you. So in the extended family, you have more people to that family. And as we know that the nuclear family is common, in the Western world, where you just have restricted family. But in the African society, we emphasize more on the extended family, because we have a lot of dependents. We have a lot of people we care for. So you cannot restrict your family to just yourself and your wife and your children. So many a time we bring out or bring in other members who are not immediate or biological family members. So these people are called members of the extended family. So this is just in addition to the types of family. And then from the nuclear family, you can now begin to talk about a family of one and just a family of two, where you have the monogamous type of marriage and then the polygamous type of marriage. So this is basically what I want us to understand in types of family. Monogamous and polygamous families. What do we mean by a monogamous family? Of course, a monogamous family is taken, if you see the word mono. Mono means what? One. So it means a family where you have a father and what? A mother. And of course, the children. And of course, this is the type of marriages that is obtainable in the Western culture, and mainly among the Christian community. Monogamous family, the father and the mother. Then you also have the polygamous family. What do you mean by poly? Of course, poly means when it is more than one. Polygamous here means there is a family where you have more than one father or more than one mother. Some people will say, what is teacher saying? That you can have more than one father? Of course, because in polygamous family, there are also divisions. In the polygamous family, there are also what? Types. Like you have polygamous family. Here you have what is called polygyny, and you have polyandry. This is a polygynous type of polygamy, and you have a polyandry type of polygamy. Now, what is the difference between these two? In a polygyny, you have a family type where you have a father and, of course, more than one wife or more than one woman. In a polygynous family, you have one father and more than one woman in the marriage relationship. While in polyandry, what do you find? You have more than one male in the marriage. In other words, you have one woman, but you have more than one man. That is why it is called polyandry. So, of course, that type of marriage is not common in our community. So, next time when you hear polygamy, it doesn't just mean where you have a man and maybe more than one woman. It can also mean a marriage or a marriage relationship where you have maybe a woman and more than one man. So you should be able to know whether that polygamous marriage is a polygynous type or a polyandry type of what? Marriage. Now, in family relationship too, you can also have a family, you can also belong to a family of what? Orientation. Orientation. You have a family of what? Orientation. You have a family of what? Orientation. Or what we call natal family. Family of orientation or what? Natal family. In this family of orientation, you are either a brother or you are what? A sister. And of course, you have siblings. But you also have another type of family that you can also belong to, which is what? The conjugal what? Family. Now, what is the role, or what role do you play in the conjugal family? Here you are playing a role of either a father or a mother. So when somebody says you are a member of a family, you should be able to describe what role you play in that family. Whether you are playing the role as a member of that family, being a brother or a sister, that is family of orientation, or you are playing the role of a mother or a father, which is what? The conjugal family. So quickly, we want to look at the roles of what? The family in the society. The role of the family the role of the family in the society. The role of the family in the society. What role does the family play in a society? Of course, we know that the family is the unit of the society. The family is what? The unit of the society. Now, what does that mean? It simply means that anything that happens in a family and that particular incident affects so many other families, that issue can become a societal issue. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Let's assume that in a particular community, most of the families have armed robbers in each of the family. Let's say a family of 100 in a community, and about 7 of them have produced 1 armed robber each. What happens to that society? You find out that they become what? A society of armed robbers. So that's why we say the family is the unit of the society. It is the smallest unit of what? The society. So quickly, what are the roles of the family? First of all, the family plays what we call what? A reproductive role. Of course, you know what we mean by reproductive role. That's procreation. You know, when God created man, what did he tell him? Go and multiply. And you know that the multiplication does not mean that man will just go about and multiplying, aimlessly. No. There has to be an organized way of reproduction. There has to be an organized way of bringing new members of the society into existence. And this way is through what? The family. Is through marriage. When a husband and wife comes together, the next thing is that we expect them to begin to reproduce. Another role of the family is what? Socialization. Socialization. Now, what do we mean by socialization? It means, giving orientations to the younger ones in order to fit into the society. The first place a child learns how to become a member of a family, of a society, is what? In the family. So the family helps to socialize the children to know what their roles and responsibilities in the society should be. It is also important to know that the family is also a base for what? Security. Security of the children. What do we mean by security? We are talking about what? Protection. A child should be protected. A child should know that where he is, there is a level of what? Protection around him. And this protection can only be given by what? The family. It is also interesting to know that the family also is what? A source of provision. Provision for the children. Of course, we know that the children must be provided for. Their school fees must be paid and all their needs must be met. Of course, other functions of the family is that what? They serve as what? Economic functions. whereby the children are also taught how to do what? Be useful in the society. The family also plays what we call religious function. In other words, the first teacher of a child in knowing about his relationship with his maker, it is always through what? The family. Of course, we also know that the family also plays political function. You know, the child begins to know that the sign of authority in the society is the father. He also learns democratic principles. And then lastly, we know that in the family, these three, the father, mother, and children, all have what? Various roles. We know the father provides for the family, the mother takes care of the domestic issues of the family, and the children also do what? Take care of, you know, the basic things in the society. So these are the roles, you know, a family plays in the life of every child. I hope children, students, you know what the family does, and if you are asked tomorrow the role of a family, you should be able to state that role. Quickly, I want you to look at these assignments and then answer the questions. Just give me, what is a family? What is a family? Now, to differentiate between monogamous and polygamous family. Polygamous family. And lastly, what are the roles? What are the roles of a family? Thank you very much. I know you got everything we thought, and I hope that you are protecting yourself from the COVID-19. So these are the questions. Look at them and please answer them. Thank you very much.